Minister of Finance Pravin Gordhan is doing what he can to keep our economy afloat. If that wasn't enough to keep his hands full, he faces charges of fraud and theft in a case many believe is politically motivated. His is a pretty thankless job of late. Still, the hard-pressed minister is optimistic South Africa will dodge a ratings downgrade at the end of the year. Gordhan was born in Durban in 1949 and led the Natal Indian Congress in the 70s. He joined the ANC and South Africa's Communist Party. Today, he's finance minister, but he qualified with a degree in pharmacy. He and President Jacob Zuma established an underground ANC structure after Zuma's release from Robben Island. Following a jail term in 1981, Gordhan became secretary of the underground ANC unit Operation Vula and was part of the launch of the UDM. He went underground himself in 1986 until his arrest in 1990, when he was named a key figure in Operation Vula. It wasn't long till Gordhan sat in CODESA negotiations with apartheid politicians. He was an MP from 1994 in South Africa's first democratic government, and in 1999 became SARS commissioner. He spent a decade transforming the tax-paying entity into a respected global body that encouraged compliance amongst taxpayers. When Trevor Manuel stepped down as finance minister in 2009, Gordhan assumed the post. 5 years later, he lost out to his deputy, Nhlanhla Nene. Nene headed up Treasury while Gordhan served as Minister of Local Government. Then 9/12 happened. On the 9th of December 2015, Zuma replaced Nene with Des van Rooyen. Relatively unknown, Van Rooyen was highly qualified for that post. Still, the sudden announcement upturned South Africa's markets and sunk the rand. 4 days later, after an outcry, Gordhan was back in the driver's seat at Treasury. He targeted state-owned entities like South African Airways before tabling the national budget. Then, the Hawks struck. The Special Crimes Division sent him 27 questions on the SARS spy unit. Gordhan first shunned them and publicly berated the Hawks. Later in the year, however, he conceded and answered the questions. By February, Gordhan was no longer under investigation from the Hawks. His deputy, Mcebisi Jonas, then claimed the Guptas had offered him the job at Treasury. On the version from Jonas, after he refused the Guptas, they offered Van Rooyen the hot seat. Cell phone records filed last week in court placed Van Rooyen at the Guptas' house purportedly for tea the night before he was appointed finance minister. During the local campaign trail for elections, things were fairly placid. Then in August, the Hawks instructed Gordhan to file a warning statement. He desisted. Next, the NPA announced charges of fraud and theft against Gordhan. The NPA and Hawks will charge him and former SARS Deputy Commissioner Ivan Pillay and Commissioner Oupa Magashule for fraud for approving a 1.1 million rand early retirement package paid to Pillay. The same week, outgoing Public Protector Thuli Madonsela left office without publishing a report on state capture. The document includes details on the Gupta's businesses and Van Rooyen's appointment. Gordhan then played a masterstroke of legal tactic. He filed papers on Gupta-linked bank transactions in a bid to get court protection. The minister wants the courts to rule he may not mediate between the Guptas and banks. Gordhan has said he serves at the pleasure of the president, and Zuma has often come out with public support for his finance minister. How these so-called SARS wars play out has serious consequences. Many lives depend on a positive resolution, and South Africa's most destitute will be hardest hit by a ratings downgrade, or worse, a slide into a failed state.